Welcome. As you can see, this is going to be a silent movie. So once we get started, I'm going to shut up. But first, I'd like to, again, as our president mentioned a moment ago, that welcome members and anybody that is interested in the history dealing with the St. Louis area. I have a lot of interest, even though I was not from this area of Kenning, 35 miles north up at Clare. So still the interest, my interest, and once I retired.
Norris, I got to stop you for a second. We got some back here that can't hear you.
Okay.
So they're asking you either to really pitch your voice or stand up.
I'll go louder.
Okay.
I can do that. So again, welcome. And the first thing I'd like to do, because we're talking about the Smith family history, and we have some of the Smith family members here tonight. We have two of the, which would be the fourth generation that we're going to talk about or include, which is Doreen and Eileen Wood, which is Ivan's daughters. And if they would like to stand up, so you people that do not know them, and they can introduce themselves. And Doreen, she has some family.
Oh, okay. I brought my whole family with me, except I have one son in California. The rest of them are here. My son Jeff, and his friend John, and my son Ralph, my son Troy, my daughter Julie, and her son Eddie. So,
Great.
brought the whole family.
Here, someplace back, right back in here. We were in. Yes. Okay.
I have my husband Glenn with me.
And she has her husband with her. And one other person that I would like to mention tonight is Jack Walker. And we'll talk more about him and later, but he was instrumental with Doreen of compiling many of the pieces of material that I'm going to talk about tonight. And I got it by a roundabout way, so I made a copy of it. So I thought it was important enough that the Historical Society should have recollection of the pictures and some of the stories that was going on back in the 1880s and up through, well, over 100 years, over a century, dealing with Smith family contributing to the St. Louis area. To start out, we have the part one was mentioned, and next we have in 1880 Ovid to St. Louis. We had a young couple, the name of Charles and Edie Smith, that was living in Ovid area, and for some reason they wanted to do some pioneering and doing some adventuring, so they loaded their 6-month-old son up with them and moved to the St. Louis area. They arrived in the early part of 1880 and purchased a land farm on the east side of St. Louis, northeast side of St. Louis. About that same period of time, that summer, he decided that he needed to have some housing, so he built the house that's still standing. It's been remodeled and added and subtracted, and that is located at 216 Geddes, which is just down the road, the little street that runs at an angle before you get to the end of Saginaw Street. If you can picture yourself at that time, St. Louis was a booming community. There was a lot of things going on. The mineral springs with the baths that was being offered, the hotels, the railroad had been in. There was still lots going on. And also, because Charles was a carpenter by trade, built houses and barns. So they discovered that the St. Louis area there was plentiful lumber and building materials, so this would be an ideal place to get started. So this is what happened. Along about that time, we had, they always had a family recipe. Like we've heard the term many times, fill a need. Well, their recipe was find a need and fill it. Well, the need was carpenter work, and which worked. And they started the farm, and then shortly after that, see, this is the find a need and fill it. I thought I'd put this on this so it kind of rings a bell later on when we're talking about things. So my remote isn't working very good, but I made a mistake in spelling there, so this time I thought, if you notice right down here, is it looks kind of funny, but that's to represent this. And this happens to be an apple wood mallet that come from the C.W. Smith carriage shop. Well, again, after getting the farm established and his home built, he decided that he would put up a building and manufacture carriages or any type of material or any type of vehicle that was horse-drawn. Because we're talking about in the 1880s, the railroad was the main part of bringing people in. So the carriage shop, and this, like I said, this is a part of from the carriage shop, and you can tell it used quite a little bit on the end on pounding on whatever they pounded on to build carriages and cutters and wagons, anything that would move produce or people for transportation. So that was the first part, the carriage factory and blacksmith shop. There's a picture of those, and I got ahead of myself, and because I would like, there is a picture of Addie and Charles, I would guess probably about the time that they first came in, shortly after they were married. I'm not sure. I'm sure Doreen or Eileen could give me give you the time. This is a picture that I found later on, and I don't know the period of time. So this is the people that we've been talking about, the first generation that came into St. Louis area. And here is a picture that, again, this is material that Doreen and Jack compiled. This is a picture of the original carriage factory, which was located right across the street, just behind where the Conery is, the building on the corner. Right behind that was the carriage factory.
Is it okay to pass the pictures and the mallet around?
We could pass them all, but maybe it'd be better to give them a chance to look at it just afterwards if they would like. Let's see what we got next. Along about that period of time, they had the farm established well, and the sugar beet industry started to be very popular in the Saginaw Valley. And the investors and speculators in manufacturing of sugar was in the area looking for a suitable place to build a factory. It was obvious that the railroad was nearby and that there was water nearby, so guess what? They selected Charles and Addie's farm and made an offer. Guess what? $30,000. This is 1901. Now that's a large sum of money at that period of time, $30,000. Well, again, he had the carriage shop, and he'd been building all these cutters and the drays and wagons and carriages. So he decided that maybe there was more to it than that. So remember, Jay was only 6 months old when they moved in here in 1880. So Jay and Dora was married, and they joined the family business. And shortly after and this is again in 1901, about just shortly